name's Steve French. I'm the Vice President of Product and Marketing at OpenMarket. Well, retailers can use SMS for several reasons. Number one is just the ubiquity of SMS. So basically everybody that has a mobile phone has SMS, and fewer than maybe 5 or 10% of the people may actually have the mobile app of that retailer. So if you're looking to engage with all your consumers, then SMS is by far the best way to reach out to them. Also, when you take a look at, for example, open rates of SMS versus email, open rates of SMS are like 98%, and of email they're generally less than 20%. So if you're looking to engage across the entire customer life cycle from acquisition all the way through support and loyalty, SMS is a great path. I think in some ways people think SMS is a little bit old school. They read about things like all these over-the-top messaging players and stuff like that. But the reality is that SMS is still very strong. The use among enterprises is actually still growing quite strongly because it's very simple to use. So for example, there was a recent survey that said 53% of people under the age of 35 thought that SMS was the simplest to use form of communication, and less than 10% talked about mobile apps and email. So when you start to look at the statistics about the ubiquity of everybody having it and the ease of use, you start to see that SMS is a great channel. Even, for example, in customer support, 60% of people said they would rather text support than wait on hold or use some other form of communication. So when you start doing the surveys, you can see people are leaning towards messaging. And finally, take a look at millennials. It's like the largest group of population ever to come across in the world. They're mobile first. They've been doing mobile since nearly birth, and their communication is by messaging. It's not email and it's not voice, it's messaging. So messaging is just a great path for retailers to reach their consumers. From the starting point, a lot of people will start with marketing type use cases, so it could be promotions or something. So if you take a look at, like we said about the open rates of messaging, 98% open them. The other thing is if you include a link in there, the click-through rate for an SMS with the URL is 20% versus less than 4% for like an email or something like that. So there's marketing. It could be customer support. You can text enable your phone numbers for the support. Instead of people being on hold, they can be doing stuff like that. We have customers doing order alerts and shipping notifications, things like that, or product recalls. So you could literally have use cases across the entire customer life cycle. But that's a good starting point would be marketing, order alerts, shipping alerts, and text enabling your customer support lines. I guess some retailers might think that email's free, although generally they're still paying for their email platform and service. Text messaging does have a cost, to it, but you got to take a look at things like how many people are using it, how much does it expand your reach, what is the click-through rates and the effectiveness of it. So, and what about customer experience? When you take a look at some of the studies around customer experience, companies that have a better customer experience have higher revenues and they're more profitable. So if it's important for a company to improve their customer experience, then the incremental cost will be more than covered. Yeah, so there's a lot of different companies out there that they can go to for text messaging. Some of them are using, what they might call gray routes, a little bit shadier. I would say generally it's better to start with a well-known company. Maybe they got direct connections, they've got solid carrier relations, they've been doing it for a while. You don't want to work with a company that's going to be out of business in a few years like that. You want a company that's also got 24/7 customer support and a company that can educate you along the way. Sometimes you'll have firms that will have a website out there that you can drop in a message and be done with it. But if you really want to build messaging into your business, you really need to work with kind of a tier 1 provider.